No longer is Formula One just a niche sport for petrol heads. It's now a thrilling spectacle that appeals to a wide range of people, thanks to the behind-the-scenes access that the Drive to Survive series provides. With this newfound popularity, Formula One has finally clawed its way into the American market. So what's the Drive to Survive series all about? What's the origin of this series? Stay tuned to find out. Formula One has had a long-standing pursuit of entering the American market since the World Championship was established in 1950. Over the years, Formula One has tried to crack the elusive American market, with races in Indianapolis, Dallas, Detroit and Long Beach, to name a few. But despite the global reach of the World Championship, Formula One just couldn't seem to win over the hearts and minds of the American people. But that was until Netflix came along and changed everything with their behind-the-scenes documentary, Formula One: Drive to Survive. Suddenly, the world of Formula One was brought to life in a way that American audiences had never experienced before. They were introduced to the incredible cast of characters that populate the sport, from the likes of Lewis Hamilton and Daniel Ricciardo to the complex personalities of team principals. It was like a window that had been thrown open and people could finally see what Formula One was all about. And as the series gained more and more viewers, Formula One found itself on the cusp of realizing its American dream. So let's take a look at how the Drive to Survive series came to be. For years, Formula One had been viewed as an exclusive sport with strict rules and regulations that prevented teams and drivers from sharing any content from the paddock. This approach was championed by Bernie Ecclestone, who believed that the sport didn't need to attract new fans through social media, as it had done just fine without it in the past. But as the sport changed hands in 2017 and Liberty Media took over, a new era of access was born. It started with an idea from Amazon when they were planning to feature McLaren in their series called All or Nothing. To include footage from the track, Amazon had to acquire the rights from Formula One. This gave Ian Holmes, F1's director of media rights, an idea. What if they could create a narrative that focused on the entire sport rather than just one team? Sean Bratches, F1's former managing director of commercial operations, liked the idea and they decided to give it a shot. In 2017, they reached out to Box to Box Films' Paul Martin and his partner James Gay Reese. With successful projects like the documentary Senna and an observational piece on Cristiano Ronaldo under their belt, Gay Reese and Martin had already established themselves as masters of their craft, and it was their track record that caught the attention of Sean Bratches and Ian Holmes. The initial conversation was just a casual one, with Bratches mentioning that he was considering working with them to produce something big, but the two producers didn't know if they would ever hear from F1 again. To their surprise, 2 or 3 months later, they received a call from Bratches and Holmes asking them to produce a new show. At first, they had no idea what the project entailed, but they quickly got to work. They attended the Brazilian and Abu Dhabi Grands Prix in 2017, but didn't know anyone in the paddock except for Ian Holmes and Red Bull team principal Christian Horner. However, over the course of those 2 races, they met with all the teams and talked to all the team principals. And just like that, the wheels were set in motion. It was the beginning of Drive to Survive, the groundbreaking series that took viewers into the heart of Formula One. How has the series grown over the years? When Box to Box Films signed on to produce Formula One: Drive to Survive, they knew they had a tough job ahead of them. They had to capture behind-the-scenes footage of the sport, which had never been done before, and create a show that would appeal to both hardcore fans and newcomers. Also, they had to become totally embedded within the sport, a process that was a daunting task for Martin and his team. The producers faced many challenges during the first season of filming, including uncertainty about what the show would look like and how the teams would react to them. They needed the team principals to open up and share their experiences, which was not an easy task. But they found a breakthrough when they met with Günther Steiner, the Haas team principal. Steiner was outspoken and honest, and the producers knew that featuring him in the show would make it a hit. When the show premiered on Netflix, the producers were nervous about how fans would react. They were worried that hardcore fans might not like it, or that newcomers would find it hard to understand. However, they were relieved when they started hearing positive feedback from fans. In Australia, Martin and his team heard stories of how fans swarmed Günther Steiner and asked for selfies and autographs from Carlos Sainz's cousin, who appeared in the show. this was the first time that they realized that their show had managed to penetrate beyond the typical Formula One audience. Season 1 had been a massive success, but two teams were missing, Mercedes and Ferrari. Fortunately, Season 2 would be a different story. The crew managed to get both iconic teams on board, which was a big win for everyone involved. However, with the Silver Arrows dominating the first 10 races of the season, they were worried that their episode would end up being based on Mercedes' dominance. Then came Hockenheim. With Mercedes celebrating their 125th year in motorsport, Martin's team saw it as a natural choice to follow the team to the German Grand Prix. They were glad they did, as the team experienced a dramatic turn of events. Lewis Hamilton was unwell and the weather was not in their favour. It was pouring with rain on race day, which added an extra challenge to an already tricky race. The crew witnessed the perfect storm of events and captured it all on camera. Martin and his team never received any requests from Mercedes to edit any scenes from the episode, which was a testament to the trust that had been built between them. Martin admits that a lot of their success is down to luck. Sometimes the unexpected happens and it becomes the season's defining moment. The first season was a prime example of this, with Haas's wheels literally falling off in Australia and Daniel Ricciardo signing with Renault, which changed the entire trajectory of the season. Fortunately for fans, the downfall of Mercedes was not the only awkward moment that was documented by Box to Box's cameras. The infamous swap of Pierre Gasly and Alex Albon by Red Bull also provided some tense on-screen moments. As the events unfolded, the frustration of Red Bull was palpable, and it was easy to sympathise with Gasly. Some people understood Red Bull's decision, while others were outraged by how Gasly was treated. The cameras didn't shy away from the unfolding drama. They captured the raw emotions and reactions of the team members, allowing viewers to glimpse into the behind-the-scenes workings of a top F1 team. Red Bull, for their part, didn't try to sugarcoat the situation or downplay the controversy. They allowed the cameras to capture the story as it happened, and the result was a gripping, unfiltered account of a pivotal moment in the 2019 F1 season. The cameras of Box to Box films are always rolling, capturing every moment and emotion of the Formula One season. And the show's executive producer, James Gay Reese, admits that it can be challenging to remain detached from the stories they document. One of the most poignant moments of Season 2 was the episode that followed the downfall of NIKO Hulkenberg at Renault. It was a difficult time for the German driver, and his emotions were clear to see in his expression. The cameras picked up on this and created an episode that was both heartbreaking and inspiring. Hulkenberg's journey was a reminder that even the most talented drivers can struggle to stay in the sport. The episode also covered the tragic events of the Belgian Grand Prix weekend, where Antoine Hubert lost his life in a terrible accident. The mood was somber and the emotions were high. The cameras captured the reactions of the drivers, including Lewis Hamilton, who was visibly shaken after seeing the accident on the big screen. The Box to Box team was careful to be respectful of the tragedy and the relationship between Hubert and Pierre Gasly, one of the show's key characters. Despite the challenges, Gay Reese and his team continued to produce captivating content that immerses fans in the world of Formula One. The emotions are raw and the stories are real, making for a thrilling and engaging viewing experience. Season 3 covered the dramatic 2020 World Championship, bringing viewers deeper into some drivers' stories from the previous season, including Daniel Ricciardo's frustrations with his team and Pierre Gasly's determination to regain his lost seat at Red Bull. As if the fierce competition on the track wasn't enough, the season also delved into the effects of the COVID-19 pandemic on the racing world. Scuderia Ferrari's struggles to remain competitive following a power unit controversy the year before, and the terrifying crash of Romain Grosjean at the Bahrain Grand Prix. The show's gripping storytelling and intense behind-the-scenes footage kept fans on the edge of their seats, eagerly anticipating what the next season would bring. Season 4, which premiered on March 11, 2022, did not disappoint. This time the cameras followed the 2021 World Championship, focusing on the fierce title battle between 7-time champion Lewis Hamilton and Dutch driver Max Verstappen. The rivalry between the two drivers was captured in stunning detail, leaving fans enthralled and eagerly anticipating the next season. According to the show's creator, the series' success is due to the fantastic cast of characters that populate the world of F1. To be one of the top 20 drivers in the world requires a certain je ne sais quoi, a unique character trait that makes them stand out from the rest. Whether it's the brilliance of Lewis Hamilton or the magnetic personality of Daniel Ricciardo, each driver is complex in their own way and has their own methods of dealing with the pressure that comes with the job. The personalities of the drivers are what make the show so captivating. Drivers like Ricciardo are themselves both on and off camera, and others like NIKO Hulkenberg are complex in their own way. Even the team principals provide captivating storylines, ensuring that the series is never short of characters, drama or conflict. The creator believes that the show could continue to thrive as there will always be new characters and stories to tell. The anticipation for the upcoming Formula One Drive to Survive season is at an all-time high, with the 5th season set to document the 2022 Formula One World Championship, which is scheduled to premiere on February 24, 2023. Red Bull driver Max Verstappen has confirmed that he'll be making his first full appearance in the show's interviews, marking a significant shift in his previous criticism of the series for fabricating events during the World Championships. With Verstappen now on board, viewers can expect a candid and insightful perspective from one of the top drivers in the sport. Have you watched the Netflix series Drive to Survive? If so, what do you enjoy about the show? If not, would you be interested in watching it? Let us know in the comment section down below.